Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time today to join us for the first of an ongoing short webinar series for those interested in medical travel. I'm delighted to see that we have participants joining us today from over 14 different countries. My name is Rachel Rowling, and I'm the Vice President of Client Services for Tactic Health and Gorgeous Getaways. Joining me also on the call today is Paula Vernon, International Manager for Gorgeous Getaways. You might remember seeing Paula in the 10-part docu-reality series Beauty and the Beach, which is now playing globally on Netflix. Welcome, Paula. So let's get started. So what I will be covering today. I'm going to be going through the following topics: a top 10 common sense approach to medical travel, also touching on why people travel, some of the medical excellence of international travel that's available today, also communication. When you are abroad in some of these destinations, how do you communicate? We're going to touch on some of the very important privacy and security issues today, how to achieve great results, getting started in 3 simple steps, and also touching on pricing. What about the packages? What's included in the packages? And of course, why travel with us? At the end of it, we will take some of your questions. So let's look at a common sense approach to medical travel. It's important to realize that medical travel is not for everyone, but it is certainly a viable option for millions of people who decide to take the journey every year. It's about being responsible. And what that is a 3-prong approach. That's you as the patient, that's us as your service provider, and then also the hospital as well. So it's all of us working together to take part in shared responsibility. It's important to also realize that price should not always be the priority. When you do get a firm quote with surgeon feedback, often what is recommended is what will give you the best results. So do take into consideration that price should not always be the priority. Be realistic with your expectations. And most importantly, follow the rules. If you follow the rules like adhering to not smoking, not drinking, eating a healthy and also participating in exercise will always give you the best outcome. Be also careful of fads or marketing hype. Often we do get some inquiries asking for some procedures that we're not even aware of, but really underlying that is the traditional procedure, but it has been just called something else. So just be careful of those fads or marketing hype. Most importantly, do it for the right reasons, do it for you and for no one else. Ask lots of questions. We are here to answer all your questions, so make sure you do ask them if you have any concerns or reservations. And also give yourself time to heal. Make sure that the results that you get will often take 6 to 12 months, so you need to give yourself some time. And most importantly, ask for references as well. So let's take a look at why people travel. Well, there's many different reasons, and we see many different clients from many different backgrounds. A lot of it is about having access to affordable procedures. It's also about privacy and confidentiality. Not everybody wants to be on Netflix and not everybody wants to be featured on social media. A lot of our clients do want the luxury of being able to go away, whether they're an expat traveling for business, and being able to have something done which is private and confidential. You also have access to the most modern facilities. All of our providers are selected because they have the modern facilities and access to the latest technologies. Also, you also have access to the top specialists in the world, which also have internationally recognized credentials. There is also a short waiting time. If there is something that you want to get done, you can often get it done very quickly. If you take into account that there are often long waiting lists at home, this is often a reason why many people travel today. Also, many of the destinations that we select have no social or political situations. So there's a lot of stability, and that's why we select many of the destinations that we have. There is also ease of entry. So many of the countries that we work with also allow for medical travelers and also allow for ease of entry, often up to 90 days. If you ever have any issues or questions with visa, we can certainly let you know what those would be. Many of the countries that we have also have a low cost of local living, which means that they also have access to lots of fresh food. By eating lots of fresh food, of course, you're also going to have a nice relaxed recovery, but also have access to great nutrition as well. We also provide all of our clients with preferred accommodation. And this preferred accommodation is specifically selected because it is in close proximity to our hospitals and also gives you additional amenities that especially cater towards the medical traveler. They also have excellent infrastructure, and by that it means that there's lots of train transportation, that once you're feeling better and you're able to get around, you're able to go and see. There's lots to see and do in all of these destinations that we select. And these are just a couple of the reasons why many people choose to travel for healthcare. So let's take a look at medical excellence. After 14 years, Gorgeous Getaways was established in 2004, and we've done a lot of the hard work and the due diligence for you. And what that means is we have hand-selected only the top specialists in each country to build deep, trusted relationships. We work on a daily basis with all of our partners. All of our medical partners are either JCI accredited or their country's equivalent standards. Our surgeons and medical specialists have had comparable training and experience to surgeons at home. So just because it is a low cost, it does not imply low quality. What it really essentially means is that there's a low cost infrastructure in the countries that we choose. So let's talk about your experience while you're traveling abroad and how do you communicate? Well, all specialists that we work with speak excellent English, with many offering translation services in many different nationalities and languages like Chinese and Japanese and Russian, just to name a few. Also, you will get a dedicated client service manager. Prior to departure, you will get contacted by your personal client service manager. And your CSM is contactable for the entire duration of your stay, 24 hours a day. Your CSM will be the main contact, and depending on your needs, will be able to sort out the steps if you have any concerns. Your CSM also has access to surgeons if there's any emergency follow-up that is often not anticipated, we have access to that. And most importantly, you don't need to worry if you're traveling alone. The beauty of what we do is that we have many clients traveling all the time, and many of them are traveling alone. So we will always make sure that you have somebody or a buddy that you can always talk to. One of the big issues today with everything, with lots of access to technology, is privacy and security. Over the past 2 years, we have taken extra steps to comply with HIPAA, which is the U.S. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and also working closely with our cloud service providers to make sure that your confidential information is stored securely and privately. And this means that internally within our organization, we identify only the people who are allowed to access your information. This is also secured with our devices. We require two-step authentication for account access, which requires certain login to be able to access this information. And we do not send your medical information over the public internet. In today's age, we need to make sure that your information is secure. So let's talk about how to achieve great results. And what you'll see to the right is just a few of our clients and some of the results that they have achieved. And we have thousands and thousands of pictures very similar to this. But in order to achieve these great results, it's important to have realistic expectations. It's also important to book early and to reserve a date. We do deal with a limited amount of surgeons globally because we have selected these surgeons because of their great expertise. So we do really recommend that once you get your firm quote back, that you do book early and at least reserve your date. If you are going and requesting a firm quote with surgeon feedback, my advice to you is to take great photos. Make sure that you take the front, the side. We give you advice on how to take great photos. If you don't do this, what it will often do is we can't submit those to the hospital and we can't get your surgeon feedback for you. And so it just will cause delays. So my advice is to take great photos and always follow the recommended advice. We will always give you many, many different points of communication along your journey. Whether you're starting now, today, with plans to go in a year from now, you will get lots of different follow-ups, lots of different recommendations. As you move closer towards your date, you're going to get pre-departure information, and it will say, okay, now this is what you should be doing. So really do follow that recommended advice, because that is going to give you the best outcome. And as I mentioned previously in one of my slides, we really want to adopt a shared responsibility approach. And that approach is a tri-prong approach with yourself, with us, and also with your hospital or your clinic of choice. And most importantly, give yourself time to heal. You're not going to see the results that you desire within 3 weeks. You will see instant results guaranteed, but you will not see the long-term results that you're often looking for. So do give yourself time. And once again, ask lots of questions. As far as the next steps, so it depends on where everybody is in the process. If you're simply starting in your discovery journey, what you can do is you can just make an inquiry. And what you need to think about are a couple of the things. What results are you trying to achieve? What destination are you excited to visit, perhaps? What is your budget? What time of the year are you planning to go? And the reason why that is important is because certain locations, it does change based on the different time of the year. So it is important to know what time are you planning. And because we have clients coming from all over the world, there are seasonal changes. So for example, in the US, there's winter at a certain time, and Australia, New Zealand, there's winter at a different time as well. So we need to know that what time are you planning to arrive? And are you prepared for pre and post surgery? These are just some of the things that you should think about before you make your initial inquiry. So the very first step that you can do is make an inquiry. And what you're going to really do is choose your time frame, because this tells us when you're planning to go. What procedures you want to get, what destination are you looking to go to, and what we can do is we can provide you with a budgetary quote at this point. Now, for those people that want to fast track, we do offer a priority service, and it is recommended for clients who want to guarantee a surgery date. And this is requesting a firm quote. You do not need to make a request for a budgetary quote. You can immediately make a request for a firm quote, but this does require you completing and uploading your photos and completing a basic medical information. So this is just some of the information that we do require if you do want to fast track and get priority service. As you can understand, we have a high volume of inquiries all the time. So what we do is we do prioritize those who do request a firm quote, just so that you know. And then finally, once you do get your firm quote back and you do get surgeon feedback, we ask you to make a booking, and this is really reserving your surgery date with a refundable deposit, and then all you need to do is book and your flight, and then you can relax. So at many points throughout this entire process, we are in communication with you. We do give you pre-departure information. We do give you updates of what you should be preparing for throughout your entire journey. So let's take a look at some of the packages that we do offer. We offer a series of standard, but we also offer custom packages as well to all of our clients. And this is at no additional cost or charge to you. So what does each and every package includes? Well, what it does include, and first of all, is the procedures and the treatments. So if you make an inquiry and you ask for certain treatments, we can give you a budgetary price or a standard package, and we include all your requested procedures with transparent pricing. And what that means is basically the pricing that you're going to get is the same price as the hospital, but it is also in local currency. So if it's a hospital in Thailand, it's going to be in Thai baht. If it is a hospital or clinic in Malaysia, it's going to be in Malaysian ringgits. And so the other thing that we do include is preferred accommodation. Our surgeons advise a certain amount of days that you should stay in your destination. So what we include in every package is preferred accommodation, and that preferred accommodation is for the required number of nights. It's close to the hospital, for proximity, and it does include some extra amenities as well that you wouldn't normally get if you were just booking directly with a hospital, with a hotel. And that may be breakfast for two. It may mean access to free wireless services, etc., etc. It might mean room service that we arrange on your behalf. So always look at the preferred accommodation because typically that is what is always recommended for you. We also offer complimentary full services. And what that means is when you arrive in your destination, we include a service manager, as I previously mentioned, airport pickup, appointment scheduling, pre and post consultations, and also a daily progress report is done by your client service manager so that we know how you're doing and how everything is going with you as well. We also include a Care Plus policy, which means that once you return home to your country, we're here to support you with any post-recovery questions. And if in rare cases there are medical complications, we will support you as your patient advocate to seek a mutually agreeable outcome with all parties. And that is what is included with every single package that you will often see in a budgetary quote or a firm quote that comes back from your surgeon. So in summary, I would just like to talk about why travel with us. Well, what we provide is quite unique. We provide a complete 360-degree view of end-to-end full services in global healthcare. And that means from the beginning that you make your inquiry throughout your entire journey to the time that you arrive in your destination, to the time that you return home to your country, we are always there. There is no handoff to another person or to another partner. We maintain that entire relationship with you for your entire journey. We have few partners, but we have deep, trusted hospital partners, some of which we've worked with for over 14 years. We have global experience. We've had over 14 years in this industry. We have over 8,000 global clients that have chosen to work with us. We offer transparent pricing. And what that means is the pricing that we give to you is going to be the same pricing that you would get from the hospital directly. There is no additional cost for working with us. We can provide you with numerous case studies, testimonials, referrals, thousands and thousands. You just need to ask us. We offer a Care Plus cancellation policy with a full refund. We offer superior experience that we have learned over the last 14 years, which provides you quality and service. And most of all, it's also affordable. No longer is it reserved for the rich and fabulous and famous. It is now available for everybody. And for those clients that are choosing to have privacy and confidentiality, that is perfectly fine as well. We offer that to all of our clients that are choosing privacy and confidentiality. And we offer an extensive range of treatments and packages. We offer many, many different categories. We have literally thousands of procedures and hundreds of different products at your fingertips tips to select from. And we provide you with full service care and attention. We also have financing options available for those as well. All you need to do is ask. So if you have any questions and you're already talking to somebody, what I recommend is that if you have a client consultant that you're already engaged with, please feel free to ask for any of the information that I've already told you. And if you're just starting your journey, please go to any of the websites, either tactic.com or gorgeousgetaways.com, and you will see that there is an inquiry option there. Complete your information, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all your time today. And what we can do is we can certainly open it up to a few questions for anybody that might have those.
So I see a question here from Bruce. It's more of a comment. It's not a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I have a question here from Sarah. Are most of these procedures safe? And what if there are complications that come up?
Okay, well, you could ask the same question in any country, or you could ask that locally as well. If If there are any complications, you will normally see that within the first few days following the procedure. At that point, you are already in the country of where you're having your procedure done. And so, as I mentioned previously, you have a client service manager that is there, that is able to help you. And if there are any complications, then we will just get in access and with the local surgeon or with the hospital, and we'll get the situation sorted.
Great. And then we have another question from Meg. Um, and that is, let's see, if I want to know um, more about my surgeon, how can I find out more information about who's going to be treating me?
Okay, so that goes back to making your inquiry. So if you're getting a budgetary inquiry, what we're going to do is we're going to give you budgetary pricing. Once you decide to actually make a request and get surgeon feedback, we will give you the name of the surgeon. We will also give you a resume and a CV of the surgeon. And at your request, we will also give you many different clients who have also gone to the same surgeon. So all of this information is available to everybody. You just need to ask. And as I mentioned, we've been working with many of these hospitals and surgeons for many, many years. So we certainly have a very rich collection of references for you on the surgeon as well.
Great. And then we have another question from George. Is the airfare separate from medical and accommodations?
Yes, it is, George. And I can tell you why. Is because nowadays, people will remember the bad seat on the plane, or they'll remember the rude airline stewardess, or they'll remember just the bad airline experience. And we don't want you to start your journey like that. And also on a positive note, many people collect airline points. And so they want to choose to upgrade, or they want to choose to go on a preferred airline. Well, whatever the situation is, we start your journey from the moment you arrive in the airport. And that is really what works well for us. So no, we don't include airfare, but there is a reason for that, because we want you to experience your entire treatment from the time that you arrive at your airport.
Thank you, Rachel. And we have another question here from Bruce. How many days do I need to be there before my surgery?
Well, Bruce, it really depends on the procedures that you're getting. Proceed like the time in the destination will depend on the time in procedures. We go anywhere from 3 days to 31 days. So it really does depend. As you may or may not know, Gorgeous Getaways is well known for its complex surgeries and complex body lifts, which is um, for for those individuals who have lost an extreme amount of weight. And so those surgeries can go up to 31 days. So it really does depend on what procedures you're having. The standard is really between 10 to 14 days. I would ideally say that 14 days for multiple procedures is a good good time frame for most procedures.
Thank you. And then can you have more than one procedure or operation done in a single day?
Oh, absolutely. That is that is what most clients actually do select, is to have multiple procedures. Um, and it is very wide and varied, but to be honest, most clients choose very, very similar procedures. Breast augmentation, tummy tucks, liposuction is very common. And so, yes, of course, if you're going to go under general anesthetic, many people will say, well, I would like to just get a few things done while I'm under general anesthetic.
Great. And then I can answer this one. So Amy missed the first 20 minutes of the webinar. This webinar will be sent out tomorrow, so you'll receive a link for it. Check your inbox. Don't worry if you missed part of the webinar today. And then we have another question here from Shannon. Which hospital is the closest to the US?
Well, I don't have my my geographic map on me and close in miles. Um, but I would say, well, we have many. It depends. It depends on where you are in the U.S., I guess. So you could be on the East Coast or the West Coast. So um, I don't know. I would suggest, make an inquiry and talk to your client consultant and just see what works out best for you.
Great. And then let's see. So, do you recommend getting insurance from Mitchell?
Well, it depends. I mean, we offer a Care Plus policy so that if you're not happy with the results post 6 to 12 months, then we will work with your provider as your patient advocate on your behalf. But there is also, medical complications insurance as well that if you choose, which is on a global industry average is 1 to 2%, and it does not matter where you are in the world, medical complications will or will not occur despite where you are. It is an option. And once again, that's an option that if you choose that, you can talk to your client consultant about that.
Great. And then did we answer this question? How many days do I need to be there before the surgery?
We often recommend that clients arrive at least a day, if not, if a couple of days before would be great. Many clients arrive a day before. It also it depends on your destination, where you're coming from, how many hops you might have, if you have any transit points, or if it's a direct flight. We will always know once you're booking your procedure, we're going to know where you're coming from. We're going to know what your surgery date is going to be. So you'll be notified by your client service manager as well. I always think, if you're going to do this, at least a day or two before is highly recommended, but we will make all those arrangements for you and talk to you directly about that.
Great. And then is there a time of year that is better than others for Thailand?
Well, there is a price difference, not with Bangkok, but with Phuket. So there are 4 seasonal price changes that depend on, the time of year because Phuket is known as more of a tourist destination, beachy destination. So the most affordable time of year is between April 1st and September, if you want to go to Phuket. But for the other destinations, there is no time difference. So between Malaysia and Japan and Taiwan and South Korea. Other than Phuket, the pricing is pretty much the same all year round.
And then we have one more question here. How many days for sexual reassignment surgery and breast augmentation?
Well, we do a lot of gender transition, and we actually have a couple of experts in that field as well. And it really depends. It can go from 14 days up to 31 days. And once again, that's the beauty of having a client consultant that is a specialist in that. We do have specialist treatments. Cosmetic surgery, we have everyone specializes in that. With gender transition, we have 2 individuals that specialize in that. For bariatric surgery, we have one person that specializes in that. And so it's important. It really depends, George. It really depends on the procedures and what you're looking for. With gender transition surgeries, there's many different types of techniques. So it kind of depends. But you'll always have a specialist that understands every single one of those techniques. So I urge you to make an inquiry and talk to your consultant about that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Rachel. I think that covers all the questions. And if anybody has any other questions, please feel free to message Rachel or Paula directly. And thanks for attending the webinar. We'll be sending out the link by tomorrow.
Thank you, Sweta, and thank you everybody for taking the time out today. We're hoping that this is just the start of a weekly series and that we can answer all of your questions as we go. So thank you so much.